How's it going, viewers? Welcome back to another video, and today we're back on F1 Challenge because I have managed to source, definitely not from a friend, an actual mod for the game. So I found out that you can essentially get a mod for any season, for any driver, for any car on F1 Challenge. I didn't install all of them because it's about 120 gigabytes in size, but I have installed one season, which is 1997. We're going to do a 25% race in the 97 Tyrrell. I've got up on the screen here, the Tyrrell Ford. And we're just going to see how good the mod is, because obviously, you know, I love F1 Challenge. And any excuse to jump back on this game, the better. So that is what we're going to be doing. I have not decided which track yet, but let's get into it. Hopefully you will enjoy. Okay, guys, so here we are on the grid. I've decided to go with Jerez for this race because it was a pretty good race in the actual 97 season, and it's a track I do quite like playing, but I actually haven't driven it on the game yet. We got a 25% race, like I said, so I'm just going to change the setup quickly, or the strategy, I should say. So we're going to do one-stop strategy. First stint, we're going to do 11 laps of fuel, which is 140 litres. Roughly, and then stop one, we're going to add 8 litres of fuel just to be safe. We're going to start on the soft tyres because there's no rain. That looks about right. We're going to go back, starting from last because I didn't want to do qualifying. We've got our Tyrrell teammate Jos Verstappen starting in front of us, and we're going to get going. Now, I apologise if it's going to be a little laggy on the start just because there are a lot of textures to load in, but we're going to see how we go. The lights are on ahead of our Tyrrell, and it is lights out and away we go. I did kind of miss that start a bit there, but as we head towards turn one, Jos is going to try and cut over on us, and we're going to go down the inside on quite a few cars. Where are we going? Brief yellow flags on the way in. I'm going to get it turned in, and we are up to 19th already, 20th, sorry, as I just tapped the back of the LazGamez. We're going to go down the inside. We've got a LaRousse Ford, I think that is, or a Delara on the inside, cutting the corner, so that's a bit illegal. But we are up 2 positions at the start. This left-hander should be easily flat in the 97 car. It is. And then down to 4th gear for the right-hander. Hopefully you can all hear me okay as through we go. Oh, and a little bit of a lag. And that was not ideal. And up towards the right-hander at the top. I think there is car with damage. Yes, there's a big accident. We've got a big accident. Several cars off. I'm going to tuck around the outside. It's it's David Coulthard in the McLaren. Has got too much damage to continue. There is a Stewart Grand Prix there car with no rear wing. We're going to get past, and that puts us up into 15th place. So a big crash here on the first lap. Obviously, there are no safety cars in F1 Challenge. That Sauber is without a front wing. We're going to tuck past down into 16th place now, and catching up to the yellow car in front. A little bit of a lock up there, and away we go. But that was a crucial big accident at the start, and that is going to promote us up a lot of places. And now it is up to us. That is Jarno Trulli in front. It is up to us now to catch up to the rest of these cars and make up as many positions as we can. We're going to go down the inside into the final corner. There is our teammate, Jos Verstappen in the Tyrrell, going past Damon Hill in the arrows. Hill goes into the pits with damage, and we are now up into 12th place on lap 1 from last on the grid. So it's a good first lap from the 2 Tyrrell cars as through turn 1 we go for the second time, and now we've got to settle into a rhythm. There's a big snap of oversteer there. That was not ideal, and it seems like the AI cars are a lot louder than mine. I'm really struggling to hear my own car, but through we go. Not too bad. And now, like I said, we just got to settle into a rhythm for the rest of this race. We've got 10 laps to go on this stint before we have to pit for fuel down into the right-hander. We are getting close to Jos. Oh, no. Okay, that's not good. I've just had a little bit of a snap of oversteer there. Not ideal, but it's okay. We are going to carry on without too much of a fuss here. But I guess the goal at the moment, Jos does seem fairly quick. So if we can just stay with him, pick up a slipstream, it should help us to stay in front of the car behind, which is Nakano. In what I believe is the LazGamez, as down into the right-hander, the chicane. No, the Prost is going to go up my inside. That hasn't gone how I wanted it to, but it's okay. We're going to pressure him back, into the final corner. This is going to be a good battle down the inside for the Tyrrell. Not too bad. A little bit of a snap of oversteer again, but we're going to get back past the Ligier. Not too bad there. It's Eddie Irvine in 10th place. That is where we are looking at. Obviously, if we finish in the top 10, we will not score points. We need to finish in the top 6 to score points. No, I've spun it. Spun the Tyrrell. We're going to get going again. Hopefully don't get in the way of that guy. Who is that? That is Jos Verstappen. So Jos pitted by the looks of things. And we jumped him and I didn't even realise, but we've spun out there. But it's okay. I'm just going to move the brake bias up a bit. And we're going to carry on our way. That has dropped us from P11 to P14. So it's not too bad, but we're going to carry on in this race down into the right-hander. There's a few slow cars in front. Trulli didn't have much pace when we went past him. So this should be a car that is fairly easy to clear. This Tyrrell in 97 was not the best car. It was a solid midfielder, but it had no business being towards the front. We're going to have a look at Trulli there. We're not going to get anything done. And then towards the chicane, or getting that snap of oversteer again. Into the chicane we go. We're going to get close, but we're not going to get close enough to make a move. It looks like my happy hunting ground is down into this final corner through the right-hander. And then we're going to go for that move up to the inside on Jarno Trulli. Down to 3rd gear, because this is the gear that doesn't spin us out. And we're away past Trulli there. So it's interesting. With the handling characteristics of this game, the best way to do it is short shift into a corner. And what I mean by that is, normally if a corner is in 2nd gear, you take it in 3rd, and then you shift down on the exit to get the drive. Because if you shift down to the normal gear, the game has a pretty bad habit of compression locking and just spinning you out. So you've actually got to use higher gears than what would be normal, just so you don't spin, like you saw down at turn 2 on lap 3, which is what I did. I shifted down too much and that caused me to spin out. But down into the right-hander, who have we got? We've got Nakano back in front of us. And see there you go, 3rd gear through there. So that is the minimum gear I'm going to be using for the rest of this race. The only time you even use 1st, really, is if you're at the Monaco hairpin, or if it's the start of the race. So it's like the only times. But 6th gear through the left-hander. And I'm now starting to find a rhythm here, which is very good. That spin did cost us a little bit, but it hasn't cost us too much in the grand scheme of things. I didn't pick up any damage or anything like that. And we have massively dropped Trulli and Verstappen. Verstappen has got past Trulli now for 14th place, so that is good. And then into the final chicane, or into the final corner. We are not going to get close to Nakano, but down the straight there is a handy slipstream here. This might just be a good move. Down into turn 1, late on the brakes, into 3rd gear and up the inside. A very nice move there on Nakano in the Ligier, and we're going to carry on our way. We're up into P12, and now I am going to set my sights on a top 10 finish. Next car up ahead is a duplicate Jos Verstappen. Okay, so I think the game has had a little bit of a brain fart there, and has given us 2 Jos Verstappens. So we're going to catch up with him, and then we're going to catch up with Eddie Irvine, who I believe is in 10th place, down into the right-hander and into the straight. I've never really been a big fan of that corner. It is a good it is a good overtaking opportunity, but it's a corner I never really get passes at. We're going to leave it in 5th gear for this left-hander, and now we're going to pass our 2nd teammate. Due to the games, I think I must have set it to the wrong grid size. I think this is a size of 22, and I've accidentally set it to a grid size of 23, so it's duplicated a car. Oh well, that is not the end of the world, but we're going to get past him nonetheless through the right-hander, and it does seem like we do have a modicum of pace at the moment. Up towards the final corner, am I? Yeah, I am a bit too far back. A little bit of a lock-up there too, so we've got to be careful with those. And then, wow, he was mega slow off the corner. We are going to go sailing past on the inside. And now our next target is Eddie Irvine in the Ferrari. I don't know if I'm going to be able to catch up that much, but we're going to give it our best shot. Through the right-hander we go. Not too bad. Past all the Mobil 1 signs on the right. And through we go again. Already dropped a 2nd on Verstappen through that 1st sector. 5th gear. on the way through. And yeah, 10 seconds to make up on Irvine. Hopefully he starts battling. Actually, he has, because he has just passed Olivier Panis for 8th or for 9th spot. So, if they're fighting a lot, that is going to be really good for us. As through the left-hander we go, 5th gear, and then turning in after the 50 board, still in 5th. And make sure we're managing these tyres. Or we are going to change the tyres at the pit stop. All the AI will be pitting once. Is into the right-hander. Oh, a bit of a lock up there, but it's all good. But we are making serious inroads on Panis at the moment. We can't see him at the moment, but we will catch up at some point. I guess, while we don't have anybody around us, why don't we go for a hot lap commentary of the Jerez circuit in F1 Challenge. So out of the final corner, 3rd gear you want to be in. As we head up to the line, you're going to be in 6th gear as you cross the line up towards turn 1. You're going to brake just after that arrow. 3rd gear for the first corner, clipping that apex and then swinging out to the curb. Now we're going to brake at the 50 board for turn 2. And right-hander as we head on through turn 2 and turn 3, swinging out to the curb. 4th gear and then 5th. This left-hander is flat. Up to 6th gear, braking a little bit at the 50 board, going down to 5th gear and keeping it in 5th all the way around, so you keep that traction up to 6th gear, the maximum gear in a 1997 car, and then braking as you get to that arrow again, down to 3rd, clipping that apex nicely, and then swinging out to the grass over here, leaving it in 3rd, turning in just after the 50 board, lifting through the left-hander, staying in 5th for this left-hander as we head around, and then braking just before the 50, 4th gear on the way in, using that curb, 4th gear for this tight right-hander, although it doesn't look like it, under the shell banner, braking at the arrow, and then back through, clip the curbs on either side, and now we're flat for the small kink, up to 5th, and then 6th, and then braking just before the 50 board for the final corner, and getting it turned in, and then downshift to 2nd on the exit so you can get that power, and across the line. That was a 1 minute 23.602, and that is a lap in the 1997 tool of Jerez. But we are going to go and carry on now. Making 2 videos in one, mate. I am absolutely insane. And away we go through the right-hander. But with that lap, we have a lot of pace at the moment. We've really caught up to Olivier Panis on that last lap. So, looks like he is managing his tyres, are managing his fuel. We've got 4 laps of fuel remaining at the moment. And then hard braking for the right-hander. Getting it turned in. Oh, and a little bit loose. That was not good. And away we go. And that, oh yeah, just a little bit of a lift through there still. And who is this? So yeah, this is Olivier Panis in the Ligier. We are going to get close. But how close are we going to get? Here we go. 4th gear on the way in. Is this going to be a move into the chicane? It is not going to be a move into the chicane. We're going to press on though. And away we go. 4th gear. And then into the kink. It's not going to be flat while we're tucked up behind him. And then going to the inside. Down the inside into the final corner on Olivier Panis. And that was a nice move. We're now up into the top 10. Next car up the road is Rubens Barrichello in the Stewart. But that was a very handy move down the inside on Olivier Panis. And we are really making inroads in this race, considering we started last. You know, maybe I should have done qualifying, because I would have started quite high up. Still got 4 laps of fuel remaining, so we're still a healthy amount of way through this stint. And since that first accident, it doesn't look like we've had too many DNFs so far. It's down towards the right hander we go. Sorry, I've got a bit of an itchy nose today. We've got a spin in sector 2 apparently. That should be ahead of us somewhere. Not sure where we're going to find it, but we're going to have to be close. Ferrari already in the pits. So someone has got damage, either Schumacher or Irvine. That is Irvine in front, so it might actually be Michael Schumacher that has picked up damage and is going to be coming into the pits. Is into the right hander we go. And look at how close we are getting to Rubens Barrichello in the Jordan. Not in the Jordan, in the Stewart. We are really acing some of these corners, and we have a lot of pace through the final corner. We're going to go for this move. It's going to set us up once again really well. And down the inside we go. And that is another move on another driver. That is Barrichello behind us now. Michael Schumacher in the pit, so it looks like he has damage, and then it's going to be up to 8th place now. So we might actually score some points here in this race. If we can keep up this momentum, we might score some points. Down into turn 2, a little bit of a lock-up, and a little bit loose on the rear end, but not too bad. As, oh no, and there's another spin. Oh, I got on the gravel. We're going to try and get it back onto the track, but I just went a little wide, and that is really annoying. I managed to keep the engine running. We're all good there, but man, that is another spin, and that is the last thing we needed because we were really starting to close up on those points positions there. I don't think it's done any damage. Car feels okay, tyres feel fine, but yeah, that is a real shame, and we're going to have to start passing these guys again. Looks like the tyres are just slightly overheating now. We might come into the pits at the end of this lap. The Panis just went off in front of me. He went very wide there through the gravel, but he didn't spin crucially. But it's going to set us up nicely to put the pressure on. We've got 2 laps of fuel remaining, so we're going to pit at the end of the next lap. But it looks like there are some people staying out. Down to 3rd gear as we head to the chicane. I got a little bit loose in the dirty air behind the Ligier. And, oh, and someone has lost a wheel apparently. That is not good for whoever that is. Someone has lost the rear wing too. Don't know who it is, because I didn't hear it over my own voice. Got a spin in sector 3, so it looks like whoever just came into the pits has lost the rear wing, got damage, and we're going to go for a move now on Olivier Panis. We're going to go to the inside, down into turn 1, making moves back past after our spin, and we're going to pass him down into turn 1. We are up to 6th place, and some of the cars have pitted, but we are going to pit on this lap. So we're going to hit enter, so I can get to the fuel. We're going to fill in 8 laps. We're going to change everything. We're going to repair the car if there is any damage, and we are going to change tyres. So we are doing the works as we go into the pits. I'm going to hit enter now. We're getting a pit warning and a fuel warning, which is understandable considering we're basically on an empty tank through the right-hander, and now this is going to be one of the most important parts of the race, is to get into these pits and to make sure we get a quick stop, because it's going to allow us to jump a few cars. Through the right-hander we go, or the left-hander, sorry, that was very good. And then 4th gear, clipping that curb, nicely done again, into the right-hander. And there we go, away we go again. It's Barrichello back in front of us. Through the chicane, not too bad. Ooh, a little bit of a snap of oversteer there in 3rd gear. And now where is that pit lane entry? We're looking for it, it's right here. Oh, and I double locked up on the way in, but into the pits we go. Oh, whoa, okay, geez, Barrichello jumping in there. That was dangerous. And this looks like us. We're going to come into the pits now. And there we go, into the pits. Their crew is going to change the tyres, get them all off. It's all good, doesn't look like there's any mistakes. And we're going to get going right about now. Fuel is done. We've got 8 laps of fuel remaining. Barrichello is going to stay in front of us, but in all honesty, that is not a bad pit stop. And away we go. Who is that? That is Nakano has jumped us after coming into the pit, so that is not ideal. It just means we're going to have to repass him again. Seems like we're passing Nakano a lot in this race. And through the right-hander, we are going to be on fresh tyres. We're going to need to wait a moment for them to warm up. But once they're warm, we should be able to sail right back past the Ligier. Yeah, once they are warm. Through the right-hander, 5th gear. Oh, looks like he's made a bit of a mistake. We've got a much better run. Down to the right-hander. I'm going to pull out to the inside. We're going to go past the Ligier. Late braking. He's going to stay with us. No! Oh, I'm going to lock up. I wasn't looking at the corner. That is a bit of a fail. Oopsie, oopsie, oopsie. It's all good. We're going to carry on. But yeah, a bit of a failed move there. I really didn't need to make that mistake. But oh well, it's all good. 5th gear through the left-hander. And we're going to catch back up with him in no time. These tyres feel like, yeah, these tyres are nice and warm now. So that is absolutely perfect. And away we go again into the chicane. Interesting difference between the 97 cars and the cars in the base game is these cars are on slick, so they have a lot more grip in these corners. Up towards the chicane, or the final corner, and down the inside on Nakano. He is not going to come into the pits, has he? Oh no, he is going to come into the pits. Okay, so he didn't stop before. But we didn't really need to pass him then, because he is now pitted. It's 3-turn on we go. Barrichello is up next. We are now in 8th place. We got Barrichello, yeah, in 7th. I didn't get a look at that leaderboard. I was wondering who was elsewhere. But through the left-hander, a nice line. We've got to make up 3.2 seconds on Barrichello before the end of this race if we want that position. It's lap 13 to 17. We're in no danger of being lapped at the moment, so we are going to complete all 17 laps in this race. Down into the hard braking zone of turn, I think this is turn 7, but I might be wrong. Away we go again. Looks like we are making inroads on Barrichello. Small lift for the left-hander, up to 6th, back down to 5th. Gear round we go. Nicely done. Very good there. And then 4th gear into the braking zone. Going to leave it in 4th for this tiny little right-hander. And someone has just put up a fastest lap. I think he said Hackenden, but I'm not sure. Through the right-hander we go. Not too bad. And 8/10 away from Rubens Barrichello now. So we are getting close to the Stewart. And this could be a nice move with a few laps to go. And out of the final corner, I got a really nice run compared to him there. But on the straight, the Stewart is going to put a little bit of distance on us. Looks like they have a better package on the straight. We both do run the Ford engine, both Tyrrell and Stewart. But it looks like the Stewart is a bit quicker on a straight line. We are right close to him now, though. So this move is a matter of corners away. Through the left-hander. And are we going to get close to make a move there? No, we're not. I'm going to back out of that, just so we don't have an accident. We have had a few spins in this race, but we haven't had any damage. And a little bit of a freeze there. It's all good. We're going to go past Barrichello, down into the right-hander. He's going to stay with us, but no, he's going to tuck in behind. And we are going to get past Barrichello and up into 7th place. So we're close to getting points. Fisichella is the next car. He's 30 seconds up the road. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that far. But hey, we can always try it. To the right-hander we go. And I'm starting to run out of breath now. As into the... Whoa, a little bit wide. All good. We're going to pretend like that didn't happen. Into the chicane. No, Barrichello's going to come stealing back up the inside. So this is actually turning into a good battle. But I didn't expect Barrichello to go for that move. To be fair, I wasn't that early on the brakes. But we're going to have to repass him again. Down into the final corner. This is going to start lap 15 to 17. So 3 laps to go in this race. This is going to be the battle for 7th. We're actually going to go to the outside into turn 1 here. This is going to be a brave move. Into 3rd gear and around the outside. Barrichello is going to keep that place. And into the inside. Oh no, just a little bit of a lock up. And Barrichello is going to stay in front for the time being. Olivia Panis is the car behind. He's 4 seconds behind, but we are gaining time on him even with this battle. As up towards the right-hander. No, I'm not going to get there. And I'm going to have to take a wider line. Cut back in. Am I going to get close to him as we head into the right-hander? I am not. I can have a look, but I'm not close enough. Wow, he was actually quite early on the brakes. But not early enough for my liking. And as we head into the left-hander, Barrichello, oh no, I thought he was going to go wide. He is not going to go wide as we head to the left-hander now. And we're going to try and get that run. Oh, there's maybe half a gap. But this is a really good battle we're having at the moment. 3rd gear and then 2nd gear. Could we get him into the chicane? I'm not going to go for it there because that is not a corner I'm confident with. We should be able to get him into the final corner if I can just keep it composed. 4th gear. And now here we go. There is our chance to the inside in the Tyrrell. And we're going to go up the inside. Nicely done. Nice move. And we've got him. That is back past Barrichello. So now it is up to us. We've got 2 laps to go. It is up to us to break away from the Stewart, or else he will get us back again. And I have no doubt that he will at least try it. Looks like the AI are actually quite confident. Through the left-handers, all these left-handers, just clipping the gravel a little bit. And around we go again, up to 16th. Oh, sorry, on the 16th lap, up to 5th gear. And then down to 4th, just so we can get those rounds. The gap is 1.3 seconds, so I think we do have the Stewart covered off. 3rd gear on the way into the hairpin. Getting it turned in, full lock. And away we go. What I will do at the end of this video, for those of you who are wanting to play this game and are on a wheel. I will show you my settings for my Fanatec wheel and how you can set it up down into 4th gear for the right-hander. Very nicely done through there. And then for the tiny right-hander, that was even better. We're really dropping Barrichello now. So we're going for this lap. We've actually, on the last lap, I might see if I can go for the fastest lap of the race. That could be fun to do. As up we go. Just going to up the brake bias a little bit because the tyres are starting to get a little worn now. Especially at the rear. So I just don't want to make any silly mistakes. Just about being safe and across the line. Fisichella is the car ahead. We've gained about 1.5 seconds on him since passing Barrichello, but we're not going to make enough inroads. Someone else has now set the fastest lap. Is all on the gravel a bit for us. Not going to enjoy that, but we are on the last lap now, and this is the white flag. So we're nearly at the end of this race. It's been a pretty interesting one. We had that spin on what was it, lap 2 or 3, and then we had that spin on about lap 11. And then was an interesting pit stop. How we had Barrichello come and jump across us on the way in. But it's been a very interesting race. It's been a very enjoyable race. It's through the left-hander. We go for the final time, 5th gear, and then using all of the rev limiter to get it turned in. There we go. Through we go, and then 4th gear as we head through the back end of the lab. Jacques Villeneuve is going to win the Jerez Grand Prix. Not quite like the real thing, but it's close enough. Hakkinen is going to finish 3rd, Schumacher 2nd, Alesi in the Benetton is going to finish 4th. As we head into the final corner, it's going to be Irvine in 5th, Fisichella in 6th, and then through the final corner, the next car to cross the line is going to be Thomas Sinner in the Tyrrell Ford, and it's going to be across the line. There we go. That is going to be it. Oof, for this race. That was a lot of fun. It's going to be 7th place for us in the Tyrrell, and as you can see, as we cross the line, it actually copies my wheel movements, which is very interesting. But there we go. So hopefully you all enjoyed that video. I'm going to end it there. That was a lot of fun to record, and yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed. If you want to see more F1 Challenge videos like this, leave a comment, suggest it, and I will definitely do it, but I'm probably going to do it anyway. But that is it from me. Stay safe, have an awesome day, make awesome choices, and I'm going to see you all in the next video. Take care, everybody.